द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति में सेवा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धा पूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक कलशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुखकमल से निकले शुद्धों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूं। उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है। वह मेरी बंद आंखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं। जन्म जन्मांतरों में वह मेरे प्रभु हैं, प्रेम भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। हे श्रीला प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन है। हे गुरुदेव, कृपया कर मुझ पे दया कीजिए आप तथा मुझे अपनी शिष्यों की इच्छा प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्ति जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। और ग्लोरी टू जसमिन, और ग्लोरी टू जसमिन। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maya Ananyena Bhavena Bhaktim Kurvanti Ye Vridham Matkrite Yakta Karmanas Yakta Svajana Bandhavaha Mayananyena Bhavena Bhaktim Kurvanti Ye Vridham Bhaktim Kurvanti Ye Vridham Makrite Jakta Karmanas Jakta Swajana Bandhavaha Mayananyena Bhavena Bhaktim Kurvanti Ye Vridham Makrite Jakta Karmanas Jakta Swajana Bandhavaha Such a sadhu engages in staunch devotional service to the Lord without deviation. For the sake of the Lord, he renounces all other connections, such as family relationships and friendly acquaintances within the world.
Mai anannena bhavena bhaktin kuruvanti jedhiram matkrite sapta karamana sapta sajana bandhava. This is the explanation of the last version of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. We have got so many obligations. As soon as we take birth, human being, not cats and dogs, we are immediately indebted to so many persons. Devarshi bhutatu ninang pidrinam. We are indebted to the demigods. The body, the material body which you have got, it is running by the direction of the demigods. There are different demigods controlling different parts of the body. So that means as soon as we get a body, we become indebted to the demigods. Then when we are educated, we take knowledge, then we become indebted to the great sages, saintly persons who have given us all the direction, how to live comfortably, sinlessly. Then they worship Bhuta. Bhuta, ordinary, general, living being. Just like we are taking milk from the cows, service from the bull, from the horse, from the ass, even cats and dogs. So we are also indebted to them. They worship Bhuta Apta, relatives. We get so many help from relatives. Bhuta Apta. They worship Bhuta Apta Nina, general public. They worship Bhuta Apta Ninang, Pitrinang, and the forefathers. So, rini we are immediately. But if we renounce everything for the sake of Krishna, then we are no more rini or indebted. That is the injunction of the Shastra. Devarsi bhutatva ninang pitrina nayang kinkarana rinicharayan sarvatmanaji saranang sarannang gato makundang parihitya kurtum. So, Krishna also says, or Shastra says, that our only obligation is to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we take to that process, then we are no more obliged to anyone. We are free. That is really freedom. How it is done? That is the Almighty God's power. He can do that. Just like we have got practical experience, if a man is condemned to death, nobody can save him by law. But if the president or the king excuses him, then he is saved. That you have got practical experience. King's mercy or the president's mercy. So, if you actually surrender your everything, your life, prana we can sacrifice our life, our wealth, prana, artha, we can sacrifice the intelligence. Everyone is intelligent. If he sacrifices, this is called jagga. If you sacrifice, you have got some intellect. Everyone is intelligent. How to make his sense gratification very nice. Even an ant knows how to gratify his senses. So, you have to sacrifice that. Don't gratify your senses, but try to gratify Krishna's senses. Then you are perfect. Then you are perfect. That you have to learn from the sadhu, because it is recommended. That sa eva sadhu sukrita. As much we are trying to gratify our senses and we have become attached to this material world, prasanga majarang pasam, we are becoming more and more entangled. The same thing, if you do for sadhu or Krishna, sadhu guru Krishna, sadhu shastra guru. So, sadhu is the representative of Krishna, or Krishna directly. Sadhu will never say that you serve me. Sadhu will say, serve Krishna. Therefore, we have to approach Krishna through sadhu, not directly. That is not. That is confirmed by Vaishnava Acharya Narottam. Chariya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Peche Keva. You cannot directly approach Krishna. You have to go through the media, the transparent via media of his representative. Therefore, Krishna এই রূপে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিতে কোন ভাগ্যবান জীব গুরু কৃষ্ণ কৃপায় পায় ভক্তিলতা বীজ. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Rupa Goswami that we are wandering in this way, Brahmanda, whole universe. There are different types or forms of body, 8,400,000, and there are millions and trillions of planets up and down. Om Bhut Bhuva Sas, Bhulok, Bhuvarlok, Saralok, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, then Tal, Atal, Nital, Patal, Rasatal. There are so many planetary systems, Chatur Bhuvan. This universe is called 14 different planetary system, and we are wondering in these different planetary systems. If we are pious, then we are promoted to the higher planetary system, Saralok, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, Brahmalok, Satyalok, there are so many Siddhalok. And if we are impious, then we are downtrodden, we go down more and more. Urdham gachanti sattasva. If you are situated in Satagun, then you are promoted to the higher planetary system. Adho gachanti tamasa. Jagannath gunavittisya adho gachanti tamasa. If you are infected with tamagun, then you go down, 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 down. Madhye tishtanti rajasa. And if we are infected by the modes of passion, then we keep ourselves in the middle. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhavana loka anupunaravartinant. Even if you go to the highest planetary system, it is called Brahma Loka, where the duration of life is very, very long. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra juga pajjantam arhajat brahmano vidhi. So, the sadhu, we are to take shelter of sadhu. Sadhu, guru, the same thing. Guru means sadhu. Or sadhu. One sadhu means the devotee of the Lord. If one is not sadhu, then he cannot become guru. And sadhu means, this is the description given. What is that? Mai anannena bhavena bhaktin kurvanti jedhya. Is sadhu. Not that anyone with a saffron cloth and having a long beard, that is not sadhu. Sadhu means the devotee of the Lord. That is his first qualification. Krishna says, Apite sudurachara vajate mam anannabhag, the same thing. As it is Kapildev says, Mai anannabhagena. Kapildev is also Krishna, incarnation of Krishna, the same thing. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Sang says, Vajate mam anannabha, ananna, not being deviated. Mame come, only unto me. This is anannabha. Not that sometimes take from here something, take from here something. Whatever is available. Those who are after material concession, they go different demigods. Take something from Shiva, something from Durga, something from Kali, this, that. So many. There are different demigods, especially Goddess Durga, Lord Shiva, and Ganesh, and Surya, there, and Vishnu. Vishnu worship is the best. Aradhananang sarvesam Vishnu aradhanam param. That is said by Lord Shiva to Goddess Parvati. Parvati asked Lord Shiva, what is the best type of worship? There are so many. It is amongst the demigods. So Lord Shiva advised, Aradhananam sarvesam Vishnu aradhanam param. My dear Parvati, amongst all kinds of different types of worship, Vishnu worship is the best. And then again he said, Tasmat paratarang devi. And there is still better worship. What is that? Tasmat paratarang devi tadyanam aradhanam. Then Vishnu worship is the best. And more than that, to worship Vishnu. tadiyanam aradha. So, therefore, here also the same thing. Saiva sadhushu krita. Begin. The spiritual life begins from the association of sadhu or devotee. You cannot progress a pinch only without the mercy of sadhu. Naishang, Prahlad Maharaj said like that. Naishangamatistavadurukramangri prishattanartho apogamojadarthya mahiyasanga padarajo visekam niskincanana navrinita java. His father, Prahlad Maharaj's father asked, after all his son, my dear son Prahlad, how you became so much advanced in Krishna consciousness? Although he was demon, still he was inquisitive. So Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear father, he used to address his father as Asura Vajra, the best of the Asuras. The sadhu manne Suravajra, Asura Vajra. Asura means demon and Vajra means the best, very young. So because he asked that how you have advanced in Krishna consciousness, Prahlad, what is the process? After all, he was a learned scholar, he inquired, out of joking or something like that. So Prahlad Maharaj plainly said, Matinla Krishne parato satova. My dear Asura Vajra, father, this Krishna consciousness, no Mati. Matinla Krishna, one cannot get Krishna consciousness. Matinla Krishna, parato, by the instruction of father or guru, parato, sato, by speculating oneself, mitho vipaddeta, or by assembly conference. For them, who are they? Grihabhratana, Matinna Krishne parato sato va mitho vipaddeta grihabhratana. Adanta gobhi visatang tamisram punachar vitacharmanana. This class of men, punachar vitacharmanana. Punachar vitacharmanana means sense gratification. We can see in the Western countries how they are everywhere, how they are attached to sense gratification. The same thing. Just like sex life. Everyone has sex life. Still, they are not satisfied. And our country it is not yet introduced, but they go to see naked dance. The same thing which he sees every night, he goes to see by paying some fees. This is called punachar charma, chewing the chew. This class of men, punachar charvana, matinna krishne parato satova mitho vipaddeta grihabhrata. And grihabhrata means those who have made their determination that we shall remain in this material world or in this family life, and we are not prepared to accept any other thing. The Vedic principle is that you remain family life for some time, not for all the days. Panchasodhang banang brajet. As soon as you're 50 years old, you must give up. Compulsory. Therefore we have got Vedic religion means varnasam dharma, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. And Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So for Brahmana, the four ashramas are compulsory. He must become a brahmachari, then from brahmachari he becomes grihastha, then from grihastha he must become vanaprastha, then he must become a sannyasi. When he becomes a sannyasi, that is the tattva karmana, tattva sajana bandhava. Tattva karmana. So long we are in this material world, we have to work. Karma. Karma means to gain some profit. Karma, karma, bikarma. Bikarma means against the law. Just like ordinary laws. If you are working honestly, business or karma, that's all right. But if you do something wrong, then you are punished. The karma and bikarma. Bikarma is punishment. Karma you can do. You write your own fruit by working. You become big man, you become rich man, and you become poor man also by your karma. If you cannot handle your business nicely, then you become poor man. And if you can handle your business nicely, you become rich man. That is karma. Karma means you have to enjoy the result, fruitive result. That is called karma. And bikarma means punishable, papa. And akarma means you do something, but you are neither punishable nor rewardable. It is rewardable, practically. And that is bhakti, or satisfying Krishna. There is no result. There is result. Ultimate result is go back to home. But the materially, if you expect some material profit by becoming a devotee, that is not possible. That is not possible. Mancha vicharni bhakti yogena jasevati. Then you become above all the resultant action of karma. The takta karma. Sannyasi means takta karma, no takta sajana, bandha. You cannot give up karma if you live with your relatives, sajana, and bandhava, society, friendship, Allah. If you live, then you cannot give up karma. You have to do either karma or bikarma. But if you become sannyasi, then you become akarma. Whatever you do, it is for Krishna, and there is no reaction. Jagyarthe karma annatra karma bandhana. Karma is bandhana. Bikarma is bandhana. But akarma is not bandhana. Bandhana means bondage. So we have to act for Krishna. Jagyarthe, Jagga means Krishna. Jagga means Vishnu. But people, Prahlad Maharaj say, Nate vidu sartha gating hi Vishnu. These ordinary men, they do not know that their ultimate destination of life is to go back to Vishnu, go back to home, back to God. Nate vidu. Why they do not know? Durasaya. Their hope is dura. Very, what is called? No, durasaya means which cannot be fulfilled. You can hope something, but it is hoping against hope. It will never be fulfilled. That is called durasaya. Durasaya je bohirartha mane. Persons who are trying to become happy by adjustment of this bohirartha, external energy or the material energy, they do not know that happiness cannot be achieved without approaching Vishnu or God. They do not know it. Nati vidu. Sarthaka. Everyone is thinking, I must first of all see my own interest. That's all right. But what is your interest? That you do not know. First of all, try to understand what is your interest. But that you do not know. Because you are thinking falsely that by adjustment of this material atmosphere, I shall be happy. Everyone is trying. Nationally, individually, collectively, everyone is trying. But it is not possible. It will be frustration. Therefore it is called Bahirarthama. So why they are attempting this process which will meet with frustration, that is also there. Adanta govhi visatang tamisam punah punah chadvita chadvana. Because they cannot control their senses. Adanta. Adanta govhi. Go means indriya. Senses. And adanta means uncontrolled. Adanta govhi visatang tamisam punah punah chadvita chadvana. So in this way, we are being baffled in so many ways. The only rescue is Krishna. Therefore it is said, Ananna bhavena, mai ananna bhavena, bhaktin kurvanti jiddiha. That is the wanted. Viravrata. That is stated in Bhagavad Gita. You will find parallel passages, the same thing, because Krishna or God cannot say anything contradictory. Whatever he has said, therefore Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of spiritual life. If you can understand Bhagavad Gita, then you can begin Srimad Bhagavatam. If you have not understood Bhagavad Gita, it is useless. You cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Just like Bhagavad Gita ends with the assertion of the Lord, Sarvadharman parittajya mamekam saranam vraja. Sarvadharman. We have created so many dharmas. Dharma cannot be so many. Dharma is one. Or religious system. What is that? Religious system. The religious system, the author of religion. Author of religion, author of law is government. Similarly, author of religion is God, Krishna. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. You cannot manufacture dharma, just like you cannot manufacture law at your home. That will be not feasible. That will be not useful for anyone. You can make thousands of law. I think this should be done. That is the fashion now. Everyone thinks in his own way. And that is not philosophy, that is not law. I think, we think, no. You cannot think. What is your value? You are imperfect. Your senses are imperfect. How you can think perfect things? No, that is not possible. Therefore, we have to tad viddhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadakshanti tat jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. You have to take knowledge from the tattvadarshi, one who has seen the truth. Otherwise, you will be frustrated. Similarly, religion. Religion you cannot manufacture. This is our religion, this is this religion, that religion, that religion. So, that is not religion. Religion is this. Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam saranam vraja. Mai ananna bhavena bhakti. This is religion. Anything else that is cheating, that is not religion. Therefore, if one can understand Bhagavad Gita perfectly, and he takes to this system of religion, Sarvadharman Parittajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja, then he can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Because where Bhagavad Gita is ended, and Srimad Bhagavatam begins from that point. Because in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the introductory verse says, Vasudev says, Dharma projita koitavo atra. Paramanin Matsaranam. This Srimad Bhagavatam is not ordinary type of religious system. Because from this Bhagavatam, Koitava, cheating type of religion is completely swept away, kicked out, thrown out. Dharma projit, Koitava, thrown. And upon this, the great commentator, Srila Swami, he said, Atra mokkha api nirasta. Then because we know dharma, artha, kam, moksha. So Sridhar Swami says that dharma projita, because people are becoming religious for moksha, liberation. So Sridhar Swami says that up to the end of moksha vancha, desire for liberation, that is also rejected. Because moksha is also not our ultimate goal of life. Moksha means to get relief from the material bondage. But if you do not get engagement of spiritual life, then moksha is also cheating because you will fall down again. I repeatedly say that cure of disease is all right. But after curing, if you are not engaged in your healthy activities, then that means that your disease is again will be relapsed. The Shastra says therefore, Arujya Krichena Paranga Padanga Tata Patanti Adha. Sometime after practicing much severe austerities and penances, he can approach the Brahma, Parampadam, that is Brahma, realization, or Brahmadok, the Patantiyodha, but from there also he will fall down. Why? Anadita Jusmatangraya, because they did not care to worship the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, Mayavadis, impersonalists, they fall down. They cannot stay. It is not possible. Simply impersonal effulgence, Brahma effulgence, you cannot stay. You can, that example I have given many times, that you can go very high in the sky by your very powerful Sputnik and your ship. But if you have no place to stay there, then you will come back again. You come back again. Similarly, you can go to the Brahma effulgence, but within the Brahma effulgence there are Vaikuntha planet, the spiritual world, there is Vaikuntha planet. If you have no stay in the Vaikuntha planet, then you will come down again to this material world. Therefore, Ananna Bhaktena Bhavena Bhaktin Kurbanti Dhirha. Dhiravrata. Ananna Chintantam Ma. Jitana Pujupasat. Tisham Nitta Vijuktanam. Juga Kemam Baham. Ananna Chintan. Simply thinking of Krishna. That will help you. Ananna Bhavi. This is sadhu. These are the sadhu. In the previous verse also there were some description. Titiksava karunika suhida sarudehina ajato sattva shanta sadhava sadhu. This is the beginning of sadhu. Because to come to this stage Ananya bhavena bhakti yogena. You have to tolerate so many things. Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Ananya bhavena yogena. He was simply thinking of Narayan. How much trouble he had to undergo, even offered by his father. So we should be very much titiksava. The matter, this material nature will not give you freedom so easily. It will not give so much freedom. If you become strong enough to capture the lotus feet of Krishna, then Mami Vajaprapadanti Mayamita, then Maya will give you. No, he is very strong. I cannot anymore keep him under my clutches. So that is Ananya Bhavena. That is this guy. Ananya Bhavena Bhaktim Kudbanti Jidira Mat Krite. For the sake of Krishna, one can give up everything. That is Ananya Bhav. The first class example is the gopis. They give up everything. Their family, their relatives, their husband, their sons, their father, their prestige, their honor, everything sacrificed simply for Krishna. That is the highest perfection. That is not possible for ordinary, but we can if we follow the gopis' way of loving Krishna. Then it's just like the Goswamis, they use Gopi Bhavarasam Mritabdi Lahari Kallola Magano Moho Bande Rupa Sanatana Ragativo Sri Jiva Gopal. It is possible if we follow the Goswamis. The Goswamis were ministers, minister of Nawab Hussain Shah in the Bengal government in those days. No, Sanatana Goswami, very finance minister, chief minister, very important minister, and they gave up everything. Tattva tu namasesa mandalapati sani sada tuchhava. By their determination to worship Krishna, they gave up everything. Tattva tu namasesa mandalapati sani. Mandalapati means very big leader. When one is minister, certainly he is connected with so many big men. So they were actually connected with that, but they gave up. Sada tuchha, and most insignificant thing. And what was their next adoption? Tapta tu namase samandalapati sanin sada tuchha bhutya dina ganesha ko karunaya kopina kanthasiko. Kopina, simply loin cloth and underwear. Kopina kanthasiko, and one quilt. That's minimum necessities of the body. But how they lived, they were so big men, how they adopted such life and lived. Because if a man, rich man, adopts immediately renunciation, that affects his material condition of life. We have seen just like in Bengal, C.R. Das. He had 50,000 rupees income in those days and he gave up everything and joined Gandhi's movement. He died within 1 year because he could not tolerate. So, without spiritual engagement, one cannot give up this material engagement. That is the real fact. One must tappa turnamase samandalapati. They gave up this material enjoyment. That's not right. That's how they live. Gopi bhavarasa amritabdi kallola magano moho. They dip into the ocean of the transcendental loving affairs of the gopis with Krishna. That was their asset. Therefore they live very peacefully and very happily. So we have to, we cannot simply give up. As it is said that takta karmana, give up every engagement, and takta sajano bandhava, you will become mad if you give up all these things. Unless you have got staunch faith in Krishna, then you cannot give up. It is not possible. Parangdishta nivartate. If you find Krishna's association is so nice, then you can very easily give up your opulent position, sajana, bandhava, family, business and everything. That requires sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. To associate with sadhu, devotee, then you can develop such thing. When day will come, you will be able to give up everything and you become liberated person, quite fit for going back to home, back to God. Unless you are completely free, if you have got a tinge of attachment for material enjoyment, Krishna will give you chance. All right, you enjoy. You enjoy to the fullest extent, because we have come to this material world for enjoying sense getting. Krishna bhuliya, that is called Maya, illusion. It is not enjoyment, it is simply struggle. But one who comes to the senses, that this is simply struggle, life after life, there is no enjoyment, then he can become a devotee of Krishna. So that requires knowledge, association of sadhu, devotee, that is being explained by Kapil Dev. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Srila Prabhupada leaving the temple in 197 Dank Street, which is one block off from the ocean. Beaconsfield Parade is the name of the road that goes along the ocean there. And Srila Prabhupada in the morning would walk out there and go along. Now, because Prabhupada's getting into the car, it indicates that he would be going down to the botanical gardens. Because if he was going on to the beachfront, he would just, walk. This is Prabhupada arriving in the botanical gardens there in Melbourne, which was a very beautiful place. You know that the British had the tradition of building these elaborate botanical gardens in wherever they would have their colonies, whether it was in Africa or in India, though Australia was like that too. They would have these elaborate botanical gardens that they would construct, and they would bring all these different exotic trees into one place. And Srila Prabhupada would go early in the morning, and he would come and say, they spent so much money building this, and now, look, in the morning, no one has come to take advantage of it. We're the only ones. Prabhupada would be walking into botanical gardens at 7 in the morning, and everybody else would be whizzing by in their cars going to work. And we would be taking advantage of their botanical gardens. Srila Prabhupada would preach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness using nature. He would tell us many times that you can learn from nature. And when he would be going on these morning walks, he would point out things. And he would amaze us. Sometimes he would say, oh, this is a certain type of a tree. And he would quote the name of the tree in Latin, like he was some kind of a botanist. And lo and behold, would go and look at the tree, and the name would be there, and it would be that tree. And he would point out the medicinal value in the trees. And Prabhupada was very educated, not just in spiritual things, but he had so much material knowledge that he would amaze the devotees.
You could see the city from the distance, and there were buildings. And I can't remember exactly his question, but it was something along the lines of, why do they build these big buildings? And being somebody who was always a little bit in awe of architecture, I remember saying something like, well, they like to be remembered, you know. I'm doing some big construction. I guess that's the sort of the fault of an artist anyway, isn't it? You do a painting or leave something behind. And Prabhupada said, it's exactly the same as the washerman's donkey. He likes to be known for being able to carry some big load. It's just no different. Yeah, the washerman's ass. I remember thinking then, I was working at the time as a designer and an artist. And I had a job in a TV studio here in Melbourne. Prabhupada sort of dismissing so-called lofty aesthetics of contemporary architecture. The mode of passion, I guess it is, isn't it? You know, you like to work in the mode of passion and leave something behind that you'll be known for. But yeah, Prabhupada's perspective sort of cut through it.
All of us would just pile into cars and then follow Prabhupada for the morning walk. We'd all follow behind. You'd have the leaders in front. You have Madhavisa, who was the GBC. Deepak, he was the temple president of Melbourne at the time. And you had a few others there. And then the rest of us would be walking behind. And it had been raining a little bit, so the grass was moist. And Prabhupada would be walking along the pathway, like a cemented pathway, and then just go straight off the pathway and walk across the grass. And so I just read just the day before that Lord Chaitanya, wherever he stepped, people would take the dust of his feet. So I thought, I should get some dust from Prabhupada's feet. And so I was walking behind Prabhupada. Madhavisa was on his right and Deepak was on his left. And then I was looking for the footprints. I could see the footprints of Madhavisa and Deepak really clearly. As you walk in the grass, it leaves an imprint quite deep, about half an inch deep. And I was looking, Prabhupada wasn't making an impression in the grass. So I decided that I will get right down to actually see Prabhupada's foot come off and see the grass underneath. And I was looking as Prabhupada's foot came off, the grass even wasn't bent or anything. It wasn't that Prabhupada was like, you know, an inch or two off the ground. It wasn't like that. It appeared that Prabhupada's feet were actually touching the ground, but they weren't. I became a little confused at that time. I didn't really understand what I was seeing. And then later I read in Bhagavatam where Yudhishthira Maharaj, he never touched the ground. So I understood from that Prabhupada was a Nitya Siddha, that he was never a conditioned soul and he came directly from the spiritual world. I mean, I didn't need to see that to come to that conclusion, because by serving Prabhupada, I was able to experience within that my understanding of Krishna consciousness and my detachment from the world, as it was developing, I understood this is the pure Vaishnava. Because, you know, serving a materialist or ordinary person, these things don't happen in the heart. But that was really wonderful to see that.
My son Janaka, who was very young at the time, probably 4 years old, and one morning walk, Srila Prabhupada took Janaka's hand in his, squeezed it very hard and kept it in his pocket all through the morning walk. It was probably Janaka, my son, that spent more personal time with Srila Prabhupada than I did. In the Melbourne temple, he used to go up to Srila Prabhupada's rooms. I would dress him in the morning and he'd disappear for the day. Prabhupada's assistants travelling with him and the other devotees would be standing guard at Prabhupada's door to his room. So Janaka knew his way in and out of Prabhupada's room, so he'd sneak in through the side window and spend the day with Srila Prabhupada. He'd play boats in the bathroom when Srila Prabhupada slept. Sometimes he would sleep under the bed there with Prabhupada, take prasadam with him.
When we were on morning walks, Prabhupada would, of course, be chanting japa, and then we would follow in unison. And then Prabhupada would stop and he would say something or point out some philosophical point. He'd walk on again and everyone would start chanting japa. And this little Mataji, Ramaniya, her name was, her chanting was over and above everyone else's chanting, very loud. And sometimes you couldn't hear what Prabhupada was saying. You had to really snuggle in around Prabhupada as close as you could to actually hear what he was saying. And so you might hear, you know, someone chanting japa in the background, not knowing what to do, when
they couldn't hear what Prabhupada was saying. So then when he was chanting this japa very loud, and everyone else was thinking, oh, he's chanting so loud. You could kind of feel the vibe of the devotees, tone it down, please. And then Prabhupada actually commented, he's chanting very nicely. This is good chanting. So that put us in our place.
Prabhupada had gone out on his walk and something needed doing in Prabhupada's room. I don't recall exactly what it was. I think it was to tidy up. There must have been a lot of devotees in there before he went for the walk. Anyway, I was feeling Prabhupada's potency in the room. I was feeling very low and dirty and unclean. And what are you? Who are you? To put yourself before this exalted person. I could recognise that. He is just so glorious. And I think you should go away out of the sight from this man. You don't belong here. I was actually thinking that in my mind, yeah. And as I thought that, the front gate there opened, and Prabhupada looked straight up at me and beamed a big smile and called me down to greet the deities. So I went down and went in the temple. So that sort of dissipated any doubts. I thought, well, if Prabhupada's accepting, then I felt freed from that. And I served them for 16 years non-stop, 18 hours a day.
I stayed behind to do the room and get the room all ready for Srila Prabhupada, and I would always be downstairs and open the door when Prabhupada came in, and there was a huge kirtan. Prabhupada came in, and I had some flowers in my hand, and Prabhupada walked up the stairs. And in Melbourne, there was an area where you got halfway up the stairs, and there was a landing, and then you went further up. And Prabhupada walked up the stairs, and Prabhupada turned around, and the kirtan was louder and louder, and Prabhupada looked down at me, and he saw I had the flowers in my hand. He walked back down the stairs and took the flowers out of my hand and walked back up the stairs. That was pretty far out.
Why there are varieties?
They say originally there was just a cell, and by adaptation, in some circumstances, one kind would live and another would die. So all these varieties adapted to different conditions.
Who adapted?
Well, they just
Who managed?
accidentally.
That is nonsense. Nothing happens accidentally. That is nonsense. There must be some arrangement. What is happening is accidental.
Well, they say
Why you are taking care of the trees? So many things. Nothing is done accidentally. You do not see the cause. Let accidentally money come and sit down. Why do they not do that? If accident is there, let accident come and I become rich man. Why they try? Why they go to the college? Let accidentally become a PhD. This is all Rascal. There are 5 causes. Activity, the place, the proportion of energy, and ultimately sanctioned by God. Then things happen. Otherwise, there is no question of accident.
stage.